Hello, everybody. I am here to do the Q&A. Take a breath. Really, I'd like to first of all ground us in the energy, feeling into the magic of everything that's going on. And not sure that I like this camera angle, so bear with me as I kind of go through this. Gonna make sure that we're up and live, which it should be. There we go. Yes, it is. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, so let's take a moment to ground. Feeling into the energy, taking a breath, asking the mind, body, and soul, and all aspects of self to be willing to receive and share, to accept, trust, and believe, stepping into the power of the I am. I am open. With no expectations, no limitations, and I am creating my outcome. And choosing in this space and through the rest of the day, the week, whatever you feel energetically connected to, I am love. I am loved. I am loving. I am lovable. I love me. I love myself. I am divine love. And so it is. Beautiful. So the first question I have is from Maria. I did put a Q&A post into the Soulful Empowerment group, so that's where these questions are being populated. And Maria asks, in astrology, I've heard that as the north and south nodes, the points in the sky where eclipses happen, often referred to as the head and tail of a dragon. With the upcoming eclipses activating my ascendant and my natal sun, I feel as if I'm being called to prepare for a profound transformation. I ask for guidance and for any practices or rituals my inner dragon I ask for guidance and for any practices or rituals my inner dragon will guide me to undertake at this time to help me prepare to travel through these eclipse portals. First of all, thank you for saying that about the north and south nodes, that they're known as the head and tail of the dragon. I absolutely love the energy of that, given that the dragon that I have witnessed out beyond the Earth's, in fact, beyond, I believe it's actually beyond the universe's, the solar system. It's so massively huge. So to now recognize that the north and south nodes in astrology, where the points where the eclipses occur, that is known as the head and tail of the dragon. I just love the energy of that. So your question again is, I ask for guidance and for any practices or rituals my inner dragon will guide me to undertake at this time to help me prepare to travel through these eclipses portals. And it's so interesting because immediately what I got is like this little satchel that has a pen and paper in it, a quill and notebook. So feeling into the energy immediately to my source dragon. It has a method of transportation. So it's really recognizing that the method of transportation that you're taking through that is in conscious awareness, and remembering that there's a lot of things that happen subconsciously that are shifting and moving and helping you to go through your day-to-day basis of things. there's something about, it's almost like I'm seeing little marshmallows. So there's softness, a cushiony, there's something about softness coming through, being gentle with oneself. Glasses of water, staying hydrated is very critical. And I know we had a conversation yesterday, and there's something about rage against the machine. We spoke at length about recognizing spiritual rage and starting to understand what's going on. And Rage Against the Machine, that's actually a band, if memory serves me correctly. It's a band. So there's something about we can think about how our body is reacting to something, and in that reaction, maybe we get discouraged energetically. Just hang on a second here. I feel like there's something knocking at the door. Okay, so this rage against the machine. What is the machine to you? Is the machine what's exterior, or is this the machine? I guess that's the question that wants to come through first. And when we're thinking about that rage against the machine, maybe go through their playlist and see if there's a song that comes up for you as well from that band, Rage Against the Machine, or Rage. I'm 99% sure it's a band. Bear with me here. I'm gonna bring it up and see if there is Rage Against the Machine. Yes, there is. There is a band called Rage Against the Machine. So there's something, there's a song that they have that I'm seeing that with their playlist, 10 Greatest Hits, and one of the songs on that is called People of the Sun. So there's something really powerful about that piece as well for you. I don't know what the words are in that song. I don't know if you need to know more about that song. I don't know if you need to go look up the words for that song. But there's something about Rage Against the Machine and possibly that song specifically, okay? So yeah. Anything else that needs to come through or wants to come through on that? So the being gentle with oneself, making sure you're hydrated, pen and paper handy. There's something about the people of the sun, or people of the sun, Rage Against the Machine. There's something about recognizing what is the machine. Are you the machine, or is the machine exterior, so that you can flow. And I know with you being in the astrological world, you probably have even more understanding and that on the eclipses than I do. So allowing that consciousness to drift into the subconsciousness and vice versa, to allow that to come through in a different way, or in a more profound way, or in a more specific way. So asking questions, thank you guys. Asking questions is critical as well, okay? Like you've asked one here, you're asking for guidance or any practice or rituals. I'm seeing a bowl, and it's so interesting because I have this beautiful Raiku, I think it's called, bowl that my mom made. It's in a box in a room here, and there's something about having a special bowl and water, and that there's crystals in this bowl of water and a candle. You know me, I'm personally, I'm all about that ceremony can come across in many different ways. And so there's something very poetic about possibly even the placement of the crystals in this, when I call it a bowl, it's more like a flatter plate with a lip. It's not a bowl, it's the size of a plate, okay? So there's something about that as well. So hopefully that was helpful for you. Lots of information. Okay. So, I forgot to look at the time. Gosh, how many minutes am I into this right now? Yikes. Bear with me here. Will it tell me anywhere? Possibly not, eh? So hopefully that was helpful for you. I don't know that it will. I don't know that okay. I'll have to go and look and see how many minutes this is after Gentry. Okay, so Gentry's the next one. Let me see if I can see the minutes on this thing. It won't show me any minutes on this. Okay. So Gentry has the next question. I've started a new job and things are going really well. We've had a great summer of traveling and kayaking. Finances are straightening out again, but I have not quilted since March. I was almost complete with our California King quilt and had others lined up and have just stopped. I've sat in the room a couple times and looked at the quilt. It's just not there. I am sad. A part of me is sad, but I am just not there yet. Any insights into this? The first thing that's coming through is the mountain. And when I say that, I'm really feeling into the energy of my own track record with quilting projects. And that is this overwhelming sense of, holy cow, this project is so big and how will I ever get it done? And then the part of me that is like, I can just completely ignore it, or I can do small, tiny steps to it. And so it's a realization of what those small, tiny steps are. It's like I needed curtains for my travel trailer that I currently have, as well as I'm creating these bags for the pre-sales for my Oracle cards. And the only way that I could ever get any of that done is, first of all, I hauled out the material. Secondly, I went through all the material. Like I had 5 or 6 big boxes of material, and I went through all those boxes to see what I actually wanted to keep, first of all. Then, so this is the travel trailer in mind, and storage. And so I've got it down to one fairly significant size box. And then I lifted that box and I was like, holy cow, there's a lot of material in there. So in my infinite wisdom of lightening the box, I decided I'd make curtains for the travel trailer. And I thought that was pretty funny because now I'm not having the material in the box, I'm having them on the wall. The weight's still there. Anyway, to do this though, I had to find the material. The bag of thread that I have, the ironing it, the cutting it, all those are next tiny steps, and I wouldn't have the finished product if I didn't do the tiny steps. So the next tiny step may be the thing that helps you to continue with that California quilt. The California King quilt. Depending on how far you are on it, if it's just the border that needs to be done and the border hasn't been cut the border, right? If you are a pinner, then pin it onto the quilt. Do small steps. The small steps will move you in the direction. I know what you mean about feeling sad about something, because the big curtains that I have for the travel trailer, they've literally been sitting now for a good solid week. And I know that's not a long time frame when we think about how long you've been working and unable to quilt. And it's also to like what's coming through as well is everything in its space. And there's something that's been very poetic, and it's so interesting that this word is coming up again. Okay, there's something very poetic about what you've been experiencing this year. You went through the beginning of this year in a chaotic state. You landed a new job, you had all kinds of things shift and change, and then you started doing some traveling and some kayaking and having fun with your family. And those were the important things that were really being, your soul was calling to you. Your soul was calling to you to do those things. The reason you're feeling sad now is because your soul is now calling you to start up on this other piece. And when I say start up on this other piece, it's making that space for you to do that. And sometimes when we look at what we have to do, making that space, it feels like an impossibility, because we're thinking we need an hour when only we need 15 minutes right now, or 10 minutes even. Sometimes it's 5 minutes. The things that I've done just walking up and down my hallway to get material, to get the box of material out of the cupboard, that was something that needed to get done. And then when it was sitting on the bed where I could see it every time I walked by that room, that spurred me into going in and taking the lid off and going through maybe a layer or 2 layers of the material, right? Like, it's the small things that have made me 1, 2, 3 curtains and almost finished the 4th set of curtains already. Of the 20 bags that I had to create a week ago, I have 3 almost completed on on my sewing area. I have 2 to start, and the other 15 are done. But it's by doing them in small little increments instead of having the space to sit down for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours and work on something. So it's very much about next tiny steps right now, and getting into the swing of things, because I'm sure when you get that California King quilt done, you'll feel the accomplishment even if you were only doing it in 5-minute increments. So recognize that part of it is possibly you energetically feeling like you need to create a space, time-wise, human time-wise, that's big enough for you to actually sit down and complete it. When the reality is getting back into it is the next tiny step. Okay? So powerful. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, and Alejandra. Take a breath. Oh, I was going to have a drink of water, but it's non-existent in my room here. Alejandra says, what does Spirit want me to know? And it's so interesting because I'm really getting the energy of my gatekeeper coming through versus my source dragon. So there's something very much about being conscious of what you're letting in or letting out, as well as what you're going into or what you're staying out of. So there's something very, the word poetic wants to come up again. So I'm not sure what's going on with this word today. But there's something about how you're witnessing something and whether you have the strength to change that or not. Now, recognize change, again, starts with small, tiny steps. So what does Spirit want you to know? It's literally showing you with one foot in front of the other. And there's this beautiful sunshiny yellow area that you're moving towards. And it's really, so interesting enough, this is like the age of someone. So it's not the moon cycles, it's the sun cycles, which is interesting considering that Maria is all about astrology. And here we come to you, Alejandra, and the sun is very predominant in your reading here. It's also really interesting because I'm feeling the energy of, I know where Maria lives, and in Canada here, and the distance that is from me personally right now is about 6.5 hours. So there's something about the energy that's something like 6.5 hours away from you. Maybe it's a time of day, maybe it is a location, but there's something about 6.5 that could be an age of yourself. It could be an age of a child that you're familiar with. It could be a span of time in your existence. So there's something about 6.5 as well. Bear with me here. I'm going to see if there's anything else. And this one feels really random today for you, Alejandra. So, yeah, just kind of bearing with that. Hi, Robin. If you have a question, feel free to write it down in the comments there, and I'll answer your question today. This is the Q&A. So let me just finish up with Alejandra, because she's the last one that actually wrote questions down. So there's one foot in front of the other. There's the beautiful sun moving towards that sun. That could be it could be about aging. It could be about going through a portal. And there's something about 6.5 again for you as well. Okay? Let me just see if there's anything else. I'm also getting the impression of a small dog. There's a small dog coming in as well. I'm unsure about the energy of the small dog, but it's like a companionship. If this is a small dog that's in your current lifetime, living right now, there's a acknowledgement between the two of you of the relationship. If this is not a dog that's in your current life, being alive, there's companionship that what's the word I'm looking for? A recognition of a connection that you have. Like when my dog passed away, it was very much hung out with me for quite some time. And energetically, I could feel her here with me. But when she first passed away, she was very, very strongly connected to me. And I could actually hear her pitter-patter of her little toe claws on the hallway of the house that we lived in at the time. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, that's the end of the questions. I guess, Robin, you're not asking a question? You have no questions? I'm not sure if any questions are coming up for you. Yeah. I also want to mention that the Sacred Spiral Oracle cards are literally on their way to me. That's my deck, my very first Oracle deck that I've created. It's been created from beautiful magical pictures of my kids. It's just an incredible, incredible deck. It calls in the elements. It calls in the inner dragon archetypes. It's a introduction to them in a different manner, and very much in alignment with where I'm going in my life. And it really had to start with this deck that has a lot of information about the inner child, the little you. And so that'll be coming very, very soon, ideally before the middle of October. And I will be introducing pre-sales. I've started to introduce pre-sales to my Inner Sanctum first, and then I will be bringing it into my Soulful Empowerment group as well as other places. So do look for the link for the pre-sales. I'm very, very excited about this. And that's probably where I'm going to end it right now. For anybody that's going through some major things in their life, just holding space for each and every one of you, holding space for myself, and being in the flow of things happening for the highest good, for the most benevolent reasons, and for the greatest good of all. And thank you guys so much. Take care.